And we're back and ready for map number 2 here with Vertigo getting underway. Heat versus OneWin. OneWin unexpectedly up a map after a brilliant showing over on Dust 2. Well, maybe a chaotic showing is a better term here, Alan.
Yeah, I mean, what do you expect? What do you expect with OneWin? It's always like this. We're used to this. We're used to the madness, the craziness. And looking back at Heat's results on Vertigo, up and down, they're taking a big scalp. They beat Heroic, so their top-end game is there, but they need consistency, and we didn't see any of that on map 1.
No, we did not. This is not the Heat that we're optimistically hoping for, right? I mean, they've always been a team that loves aggression, loves taking the fight, loves getting messy with it, but usually a lot more stable than what we saw over on Dust 2. A lot of situations where they were an advantage or an even situation where they just completely lose control around. Can't be doing that on Vertigo if we want a 3-map series. Reminder, it is Ancient as a decider if we get to it. But that's a big if at this point. It's a big if. Don't know that I necessarily fancy their chances. They're going to need to show us the Heat that we know and love. Going to get a real series here. Looks like an A take. Util set up for it. One smoke out, couple flashes. If Afro just gives him the ground, it's a high chance of a plant, but the bomb's actually crossing towards ramp. So Afro will have the angle, and that drops it. Uh-oh. Someone's got to go back and retrieve. Gives Afro more opportunities to pop headshots here. They are really giving him a chance, and even with that, Glowing was planting a little bit exposed. Oddly enough, nades come in, and the utility from Heat is great to deny this control. Bomb may finally be planted, but Flamey's even fighting forward. He's got that C4. If he drops, it goes further forward. This is falling out of control, and it will be the round for Heat.
Almost too many targets to shoot out there for Flamey. Well played from Heat, recognizing that we don't need to fight this. They had nades to stave off a plant. Clearly is the idea of the setup. And that works to perfection. No bomb plant either, so any reinvestment here from OneWin is a little bit out of the question. Flamey's bought a Deeg. I don't think we'll see a great deal more. And Heat, in terms of redeeming the wrongs of Dust 2. That's a good way to start the redemption.
It certainly is. And I think it's the way that they did it as well. To me, that's encouraging. The 2 pistol rounds on Dust 2, a lot of it seemed to come down to just individual shooting. That one, calculated, right? Perfect setup, utility coming back in. Afro hitting the critical shot. It's the way you want to win rounds. And this one, they're just going to keep clean. No unnecessary casualties up against the pistols. Bomb already firmly in your control. Heat looking settled. Joker, though, never wants to be settled. Always wants that next fight. And he might get it.
Okay.
Oh, clocked! Couldn't get too stable, Alan.
No. Stay on your toes. Keep it dynamic. Maybe like standardness.
All right. That round settled. Over and done with. So the 2-0. Only one casualty in that round. Actually, Joko's the only player who's died yet over on the Heat side. It's about as good a start as you can get, but now, can they do the same against the AKs, Alan?
We'll find out. Body's still on that MP9. So he chooses to get aggressive. What have we got here? 2 in mid, 0 B, 3 on A. They're just going to commit to this close mid setup, and there's a lot of players in the vicinity. OneWin needs to be perfect with their utility to clear this out. Let's win out on the flashbangs, and, well, Flamey assassinates.
All right. The Flamey of Dust 2 is returning here, and that's a huge kill to find for Travis. That should just about put this round out of grasp. Provided they don't bizarrely decide to take the bomb A, which they don't, because they are sane. This round should be over and done with, and, well, Afro may just try and survive here, but he's already on notice. He's already quite low. He can't go further in towards the ramp. So back up it he goes. And they're hunting. They're hungry. They want this kill. Can't commit everyone into it. Can't just lose rifles willy-nilly. You're too early into your T-side economy, but the promise of taking this one gun away Too tempting. And Lollipop will eventually do it.
Oh, Blink and you missed it on that round. That mid setup was... I don't even think they were flashed. I think Flamey just wrecked them. Completely.
Flamey is having a crazy game.
Hey,
He's looking like, you know, the Flamey of... I don't even know how long ago it was. 2015?
20... Oh, my brain.
When did Flamey first make his
2014, I think. After the Katowice major. No, that was 15, I think.
15 and 16. He was a top 20 player of the year. So, rolling back the years here, Flamey. Looking really lights out.
Yeah, there's a lot of work in that round. Forces a heavy eco here. A couple deagles in the mix, but clearly not enough to justify full investment. Lollipop repositions. Yet to really commit anywhere just yet, but I like this. Slow and steady. Don't do anything rash up against these pistols.
Travis. That's an opener. And they are grouped. They are grouped en masse, and having found that player, XSC down to B steps, well, Heat are going to go for a stack on the other side of the map, maybe hoping that it would funnel them through. OneWin might try and disguise presence, yada, yada, yada. They won't, is the end of the story. And this will almost certainly be around for OneWin. We're also looking a lot more methodical so far in this map. The madness of Dust 2 seems to have settled as we shift into Vertigo.
Easy stuff. Pistol round was so easy for Heat. Since then, it's been anything but. I'll be happy to get back on the guns in the next. I think Jocko only on 1-9 loss or something like that, so Jocko himself will not be fully equipped. As this scoreline gets tied, as a reminder, we'll map to the good for OneWin. This is their map pick. Had a lot of success recently, even against top international teams. Not necessarily so far down the map for Heat, but they're the ones you're asking more questions of. What?
Oh, a couple kills right there at the bell, but no guns retrieved. So at least they don't let it be a flawless round for OneWin, I guess. Problem is they can't get their hands on those rifles, so it doesn't really matter that much in the long run. Doesn't really matter. Bit of a bummer.
You can tell Jocko has confidence in his deagle.
Yeah.
This buy.
Yeah, this is kind of outrageous. He's got 1,400 spare. Doesn't even want the SMG, would just prefer the Deag. Let's see if he's justified.
What is happening in these rounds?
Afro's gone. I mean, the initial phases are just being completely lost by Heat. It's kind of what we saw in Dust 2 as well. Sometimes they just take straight up duels and they just straight up get absolutely shredded. This time, I think it was Afro was trying to get aggressive down the scaffolding, down yellow, and he got sprayed down, maybe even through the smoke. Not sure about that. But the B site was just, I mean, that was just a fight. Jax at least keeps this round in doubt. But Jocko, we're about to test this Deag, and, well, he won't pass. So two isolated players. Jax trying to make it so that he can at least play with his teammate. And, well, his teammate's gone. So it is just Jax remaining. And goodbye, Jax. All wins for one win. All for one and one for win.
That's how the saying goes. Something like that. Should be their slogan. I think you should pause if you're Heats, because those last two gun rounds have been catastrophic. Instant 3-on-5s both times. Either fix whatever small mistakes are leading to losing these entries, or start playing a heck of a lot more passive, because OneWin are coming for heads. You're getting very unfortunate with these pistol stacks. Stacked A last time, nothing came. Mid this time.
I mean, I think the thing is, through 5 rounds, OneWin have showed us a lot of different looks. They've gone B, they've gone mid, they've gone A. They're not falling into the trap that so many teams do of A ramp, A ramp, A ramp. They're using all of what Vertigo has to offer, and when you start to do that, it's very tough to guess as a CT side where the hit's actually going to come to be. So another round that is decidedly 1 wins from the jump. And, well, damage will even just be minimal. Nice 4K for Lollipop. Chases them eeks. He gets them eeks. And 1 win. Since the guns have come out, looking pretty dang good. This is the round where Heat will try and challenge that.
There's that pause. AWP could be dropped by Jocko. So it was clearly 400 IQ, was thinking ahead. With the Deagle only. Hopefully he does. I think Afro would enjoy that. And as mentioned, 1 win. They're just defaulting, I think. I mean, as said, they are ending in a lot of different places. They are showing some different defaults, but it's not like there's any in particular execute or take a map control that Heat need to stop. They just need to get on top of how they're approaching the map, the philosophy here. Maybe they've got a particular passive setup they could go for, because any aggression right now has just been absolutely locked down.
And it does feel like with this Heat squad, if you can deny aggression, that's so much their identity, right? Joko, Exorcist, flying into things, body taking fights. They can't succeed on that. What are they? Who are they? I like this boost up in towards mid. This is a cheeky ang. Flamey might trigger it. Problem is, if you lose Exorcist backside of B, it's going to be tough to get back through. So Utility's going to try and come into support, but Travis is ahead of it. He's so quick into it. No fear from Travis. Molotov burning. Will lock them out, and Joko's actually a victim to that molly. Bomb now down. Still a player in mid. Is Glowing going up A ramp right now? Glowing is going up A ramp right now. How on earth do they read that? Well, he was full sprinting, so Afro will. But it'll stun these two players for long enough. And losing the player in mid, this retake is such a nightmare. You can't even stop the approach. Deco loses a fight. That might allow them back in, but Flamey finds the timing. They knew he was here a bit. Afro really trusting that. And it'll be annihilation once more. Full control for 1 win.
Just can't guess correctly at the moment, Heat. That time, double mid stack. There's only 1 on B. That B player gets contacted, and those mid players can't adjust in time because it's so aggressive from 1 win. And yeah, in that late round, I think they had saved their mic. They had 3 rifles. They're on max crossbows. They could have bought again. They had no kits in play. Yeah, they've just going for that. There's not going to be a buy in this round. 1 win. They're starting to run away with this. Their money's amazing. This is looking like a 2-0, the rate we're heading at the moment.
Yeah, it's early, but it feels that way. It feels that way. And I want to heap major praise on that 1 win, because right now we're doing a lot of trying to figure out what's going on with Heat, but the reality is as well, the entries have been sick from 1 win. They're winning every early engagement, it feels like. Last round, it was Travis just flying into sight, no fear. That was such a difference maker. And once again, they completely dismantled the 2-pistol setup on the side hall. Give it no chance to do damage. We've got the util in deep already. They look in such control. This is the more classic A-take. But you throw it in against pistols, so they know you certainly can execute it virtually flawlessly. This is just looking so good. They're so confident our 1 win.
This round as well. They had that 1 anti-eco that went a little bit hairy. But apart from that, they kept 4 or 5 players alive every single occasion. And you wouldn't have bet against them to do it here again. Heat. See what they choose to go for in the following gun round. But I feel for them because they've called... What are we up to now? 3 or 4 gun rounds? They've called 3 or 4 fast gun rounds, and they can't make a good guess at the moment. Every time they've just been wrong.
Yeah. And I mean, the money tells the tale of what you're talking about with 4 or 5 players staying alive. There's 3 players, I think, above 10K. By the time the investment comes into this round, still 2 players sitting above 12 with full nades bought up and everything. The cash is flowing. It's absurd at this point. We're 8 rounds into the half, and it feels like 1 win. I don't know if this economy will ever be broken. This is a good chance, though, for Heat. They've got the AWP, got the rifles. I think this is the first time we've seen the AWP out from Afro, so this is a different look here for Heat. But this is the round where you need to prove, not just to us, not to the people watching, to yourselves. You really can't go toe-to-toe right now with this one-win team because you got to imagine confidence is starting to be shaken. They're just so ferocious over on the one-win side. They really don't give you much of a chance to get the initiative. Deco just spotted an ankle. Doesn't quite pop the shot with the smoke fading off to back away, so that is an opportunity missed. Oh, but the nades!
Oh.
Exorcise, if he was stepping a hair to the right, he would have been gone.
I think he was there earlier.
Yeah.
That is scary. Good information though, so we don't need to worry about much of the rest of the map for the moment. And we can see Heat now settling in a little bit. We've got a jump spot from Body, Afro set up, and the util here needs to be perfect, or Afro's going to have a field day.
Afro, the opportunity, Body along with him. There's the run boost.
Oh!
Oh, the deletion coming through from Deco. All right. Wondering if the setup's going to be perfect. That's the question of if Body can hold on. No, he cannot. No way, no how. Joko, the last remaining. He's not got util. His teammates do, but they're pushing the flank. Joko was good on Dust 2. Gotta see it again. First one found. Glowing is low. There's still a chance to make something of this round. Glowing's going to be back watching the flank. He'll be taken out, so now pressure on, and suddenly this comes back into a 3-on-3. Bomb down. It's about these two players on the flank. What can they do? What can they get done? Exorcise creeping up. Timing going to be everything. Travis keeps his teammate alive. And he even gets himself back. But Jax knows his angles, knows his headshots. The problem is Jax is once again alone. So many of these situations where Jax is just the last alive. This time he'll give it a try. Knows where a player is, but caught reloading. This could be it. This could be done. And he is indeed dealt with.
Wow, what a gut punch. And this feels like the first round where you watch it and you just think, Heat are just... They're not making any mistakes. They're just dying. They're playing good setups. They're doing their best in the retake. They're going for the fast flank. And it just doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Deco... I wish I could see that entry again, because they must know exactly where you have to stand for that run boost to land in the right place. And then the next shot from the rifler up the left side of ramp. That setup was as best as it gets for Heat, and they just die immediately.
It just does feel like every opening fight. They cannot hold on. On a pound-for-pound basis right now, they are getting out-dueled, outplayed, out-called. Everything is working for one win.
Remember also, Heat, I guess it was still Heat then. It was still Heat then. Denied them the title 2 seasons ago.
Yeah.
Another French team did the same in the previous, so revenge. They're out for French blood.
So far, they're drinking it. It is spooky season. Halloween's upon us. And Travis right now, he's feeling a little vampiric. He will finally be checked. The flashbang was good from Joko. But even that doesn't help. Woo! Okay, all right. Exorcise doesn't care about the health. Gets that deke shot right as the smoke blooms. And for once, for the first time in, I don't know, 5 rounds, he'd have an advantage. It's a round with minimal weaponry. Body's rifle hasn't come into play just yet. They've got the push from Afro, which is going to keep them contained. They can't back out towards lower. So the question of this fight, Exorcise lucky to be alive, but Body will capitalize. Now the round's back to Flamey. Flamey has been so good at this map so far. But the question is what can Afro do on the flank? This is everything. This is everything. Bomb planted. Afro has to capitalize on all this positioning. And won't do anything of the sort. And it falls apart. Finally a chance. Finally an opportunity. Finally an advantage for Heat. And they just cannot get it over the line.
Flamey's been ice cold. Almost ironically in these late round scenarios. Whilst other players are faltering, losing fights, he just stays calm. Deco, I don't know what's going on in this game. It's like he's got X-ray. He knows exactly where to look at each time. And this is absolute damage limitation now. The money is so good for one win. This is going to be a buy every single round. Might be an entry, but swiftly traded as one win. Keep applying this pressure.
Afro, does he realize? He has
Glowing?
no idea. Look at how far Glowing is. Look at where Glowing is. How can you call this? How can you call this? Afro's still alive side hall, and Glowing is going to be in spawn. So they're actually going to change up. Despite all the space towards A, Glowing knows he doesn't really have it. It's kind of a falsehood. So he's going to keep approaching in towards spawn. They're going to be so caught off guard here in a moment, and that's going to leave B completely exposed. Glowing just has to kill Exorcise, and this round should be over. There it is. Knife. Knife. He's looking to see if there's a second player. He knows he can just win the round with this one.
Might. Oh, yeah.
There it is.
Body's
He's going to keep
nearby.
the positioning alive, keep all that ground. Body's going to get a look back in, but this is it. Body's play over mid has to be it, and Glowing's already taken the forward stance with a Molotov.
I think they
in.
need to save.
Body's denied. Glowing's found another. What a play from Glowing. He just found green grass in front of him and kept going.
This
Okay,
is
that's
brutal.
a
This
little awkward,
is...
Joko.
This is the one win that beat G2 in the RMR. There.
You got to imagine that victory emboldens you.
Oh yeah. I mean, this is a team that always plays quite confidently, but I think it is their style to you know, apply a lot of pressure individually and try and take space. But in this matchup at the moment, it's fully justified because they're just winning all the duels they're finding anyway. They knew where the AWP was there. There was no fear walking up ramp, and Glowing just finds all the space. That was amazing. And what on earth do you do if you heat? I'm gonna start panic buying. I think they've got to start buying. They've got to do something. They need rounds.
I mean, you're not going to have the AWP, but let's be real. The AWP hasn't been a difference maker yet. You only had it in one round, to be fair. They're going to half here, so they're not going to panic just yet. One more round, then we can panic. Appears to be the call. Halving up here. But if it's double digits first half for one win, that would be pretty outrageous. Afro gonna try and deny. This might work out. Oh, here we go. All right, aggression coming back in here for Heat. They're getting back to their identity, and now some guns can be picked up. So a two-man advantage, rifles gained, and suddenly this might be the kick in the butt that Heat need to get back into this game. Travis, though, wants to kick some butt, and he'll do exactly that. What a response! The flashbang coming through, the crosshair placement from Travis is just obscene to immediately be back on the exact right pixel he needed.
They need to be so careful. This is... I'll call it. If they lose this man advantage, this map's over. And they're going out. They're going into the lower bracket. They can't give away this man advantage. And it all could hinder one duel. Well, okay, alright, Body. He's still got some aim in him.
Yeah, he does. He's still got some juice. He's still not letting this just get completely out of whack. But now, I mean, this is a round where you came in with a half buy, so whichever way it ends, you're going to be feeling pretty good economically if you can win. And Body seems determined to make that happen. His third kill found. A Flamey. I remember a Flamey round. I remember Dust too. I know what happened there. I think Flamey remembers as well. Ooh, first opportunity, not capitalized on. Now positioning known. And Exorcise steals with it. Okay, nice shot there. Nice round. That's something that Heat absolutely needed here, Alan.
Yeah. That was potentially the only route back into the map, let's be honest. I still think they're going to face a lot of buys, especially if bomb plants come in. Should be 3 buys in a row from that T side, so... Even from here, staving off the double digits, but that's a lifeline. And now they have to build upon it. They need to chain these rounds together. And all eyes on ramp, because that's where the success came from last time.
Ooh, okay, all right. Advantage for one win. Afro's getting aggressive into it, but he's going to be dropped. Deco wins the duel this time, and now it's 2 players remaining. They're very much spread. He... staring at a little bit of a catastrophe, seeing their round potentially isolated. Joko and Body, can either of them be the hero to step up in this moment? If you save, you're fine. But can you really justify that at this point, Alan?
It's getting scary when you ask those sort of questions. I mean, this round just feels back on script, doesn't it?
Yeah.
1 minute 30, immediate 4v2. We've just lost B, we've lost the duels. Deco finds another entry on A, and we're left with this impossible decision of whether or not to go for this. I guess Body's going to dump some nades, pray for a kill on the bomb plant, but it's not Deco with the bomb. even with the double nades, it'd be lovely to drop Lollipop. And indeed they do, so potentially a chance, but a lot more work to be done.
Utility usage at least nice, but they've spent it all. Oh, Joko's out. Joko's out! He's gonna get a kill as a result. This positioning is huge. But look at the mid-play developing. Glowing could just stick in this spot and wait for Deco to work. 30 seconds. There's not a lot of time to spare on it, but Glowing's just gonna try and keep body hemmed in. Meanwhile, on the other side, Joko's working his way around, and Deco gets nothing. Okay, all right. What a recovery here. What a recovery. Body, Joko, they had to be heroes. They needed it. It starts with an 8. It starts with a utility. But Heat stay calm under pressure.
That was a colossal throw from OneWin. Deco, I'd say with 95% confidence, he's going for mid to cut off, you know, players trying to save. He thinks the round's already done. If he's with his teammates, they never lose that. Wow. I almost guarantee you that's why there's the pause here, is because they're hands in head. That should have been map over. That should have been money in the bin for Heat. They had nothing left. Well into double digits on this T side. And that crack, that opening that they forced open with the force buy in the previous, has now become a sliver wider, Mike. And maybe it'll turn into a cavern if it keeps going this way.
Where do they go on the OneWin side, though? Because that was such a commanding start to the round, right? Gotta feel a little tough. They're off. 4v2 right off the rip. Body's not gonna allow the advantages back the other way this time. He's got a little confidence brewing here over on the Heat side, and he's not interested in losing that momentum. Cheeky spot for Exorcise. Just hide in the smoke. Wait for the smoke fade. No one will be here when it fades, probably. I say that. There's 2 players below. This could actually work out. I don't know about pulling the trigger, but he's out. He's gone. Joko's gone as well. Goodbye mid presence. Back to a 4v4. OneWin. Not gonna let you maintain your advantages very easily.
Heat there, we're just trying to clear mid on a flashbang.
Look at Trav going back in. Look at the resources they're having to devote to actually reclaim the bomb, because they don't know, having lost the forklift presence, if a push came through. It didn't, so all good, but that does waste a good 20 seconds getting this bomb back.
Ooh, Afro. Oh, dancing with death. But they're kind of making a good read here. There's 1 on A, 2 on B. They're well set up, Heat.
Oh, they just need to exit. 35 seconds, not a lot of time to spare for OneWin. What utility they have is being dumped over. There's a molly on Body. Body's not close. Goodbye, Jax. Need to get these nades in quickly. HE. Oh, a little too deep. Could have been huge. Exorcise instead will step to the plate. Flamey, though, once again explodes into an absolute blaze. Body is here. There's only 10 seconds on the other side. They have to make a ball plant. But that's going to be Flamey all the way. One more found. A 4K again coming through from Flamey as he has just exploded to the top of the board here on Vertigo.
This has to be the best series Flamey's played.
Yes. On this team.
I mean, I'd say 3 months.
I think on this team. I'm very curious. I'm sure there's another one somewhere, but this is certainly the best one I've ever seen Flamey play as part of OneWin. He's
making Heat players look amateur when this is a team that is borderline top 20 in the world. And the stakes here. We're in playoffs now. Flamey wants to go to conference. He wants to get straight into Pro League.
I'll say. I feel like we've always seen the flashes in this team, especially on like D grounds. But my goodness, this isn't a flash. This is a bonfire. Goodbye, Glowing. Early on into this, Nades though going to absolutely erase Exorcise. Somehow he finds the middle ground. Thought he was a goner. Said he's just limping. Flamey rests. He already finds one. Molly in means they have a pretty good idea. Exorcise is still here. He's forced forward. Travis will collect that one. Flamey again, looking put together, using the utility, putting the pressure on. Travis collects the kill. They're here with a double setup, but there's still a minute on the clock. 55 seconds, right? OneWin could reset unless they just kill everybody on this side. Flamey has finally been dealt with. What is that jump? Little hops going through. Keeping Joko off his balance, and now he's all alone. Joko with that AWP has to try and bring this one back through.
Bomb's
He's
going
doing
A.
so much damage already. 1v2, but they've just left with the bomb. They know he's here. They know he's stuck. So they are going to rotate, and there's nothing Joko can do about it.
Can he find a kit on the ground? That would help a lot. Any nades are great. There's got to be a kit on B. All the teammates died there. But now, how on earth does he isolate these fights? Look at the afterplants. They're so ready just to play this from ramp. And this should be impossible.
Joko trying to deny 11. Right into the angle, right into death, right into lollipop. Incredible showing from one win. We thought they looked good on Dust too, but that was just a preview. That was just a tease. This is one win's form. They look unbelievably good right here. Individually, as a collective, they are dominating.
Yes, indeed. Looking good. And going into that second half. 5 rounds to find. Surely this is over. We'll find out in a few seconds.
And we're back. After an absolute smackdown in the first half, 11 rounds on the attacking half of Vertigo here for 1-win. They look like they're in complete control. It's going to take something special from Heat to get back into this, Alan.
Simply has to start here. This is a must-win pistol round. And this even feels like a must-win duel. Travis, though, he's on an absolute island, Mike. No other players are even in his postcode.
It's actually wild they're not even rotating now. They still seem to be really convinced that the A ramp fight's going to come through, keeping 3 players stock on. Deco's not even really posturing to help out. What are the comms here? Surely they have to move soon. Here's the boost up. Travis manages to hit everywhere over on that side except the spot he needs. And now, not too many bullets actually in the USP. Better save his extra magazines. I see nothing ramp. Surely they gotta float somebody. Now the utility's coming through. Here's gonna be the move. This is gonna be the shift for 1-win.
Jax?
Jax has just jumped off the map. Okay. Well, that's gonna be a start to things. Curious to see that one. Another player dropped, and, well, that could be a catastrophe here. Heat in a 3-on-5. Bomb plant, at least. The site was given to them. They've still somehow found 2 casualties in the process. Exorcise dealt with. First hurdle overcome. Second cleared. It's all on the body, and he's being peppered down. Body shots could be enough because they've got everything. Oh my goodness. 1-win. Take the second half pistol. That would just went from bad to worse for Heat.
Jax?
Jax?
Well, we had this... Was it a few weeks ago we had the run boost resulting in a death in a very important round. I don't think, Mike, I've ever seen somebody just straight up fall off for no good reason.
I'm really curious about the replay on that one.
I don't think he was flashed. There were no nades on the CT side.
No, I think he just fell.
He must have just been running too far left.
Did he just off the stairs?
He must have been trying to run up
the
rail. He must have been trying to run up the railing and just fell off the side.
Yeah, that has to be it, I think. Either way, Body will get a kill here. This would be a nice round to recover. Reminder, the 4 rounds that Heat have include winning the pistol round in the first half, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, and the following anti-eco.
That's right, it was 3-0.
And a 2 versus 4.
Oh my goodness.
And, yeah. And a 4 spy.
There's like no nades here for 1-win. They've gone fully in on the rifles. This is a single smoke that has now been spent. So, interesting decision here to go for the 4 A1Ss. Might actually leave them a bit vulnerable when this execute comes through. You'd imagine if it goes into a man advantage retake, they're just done.
They enjoy this strategy of, Travis, you can have that half of the map. We're good.
Oh, they're just going to save. Travis is even leaving that half of the map. If this turns into a B take, I'd imagine it's a save. Travis shouldn't even really be poking here, but he's going to take a poke, see if he can't get some kills. And in fairness, he'd have had a tendency of giving away kills they shouldn't. Time to go, Travis. Time to go. Another poke in. Yeah, okay. Here we go.
It's a tough pill to swallow, but this is just a good save. 4 rifles, you're going to have full nades on all these players. You'll have a better buy than Heat, almost certainly, because they'll recycle these Galils and such into the following. And your round lead is astronomical. So, yeah, unlucky on this one to lose the entry. Can't fault them for trying to go for a bit of a stack. And, yeah, they've been watching some outsiders, because this is very James-esque.
So you drop a deagle over to Deco. You get nades on everybody else. And you've actually, in my opinion, kind of got a better buy than the last one, considering the lack of utility.
Looking like it's heading that way. It would be nice to have a kit in the mix. Flamey.
Flamey?
Hook us up with one of those.
Doesn't believe in those.
No.
Defusing only matters if you lose the initial fight. It is interesting that he doesn't pick up more utility, at least. But I think it's because he was going for this aggressive push down the D steps and didn't want to drop it.
Yeah, but you
which also
spawn.
Might be why. Yeah, that's true. He could have done that. And Afro has just deleted glowing. That's a really nice start to this round. Can Deco get around to that gun? Maybe. Yeah, he can indeed. It was blown his direction off of some HEs. That loss doesn't sting so much, but Lollipop will lose the initial engagement, and he actually winning some early fights here. This is something that was foreign to them through the first half. Look at this late lurk for Exorcise as well. Now working his way to mid. That's been given up. Travis swinging into action. He's the B player, so that might trigger a rotate actually through from Heat, but there's still presence in mid. Flamey collects, and now Heat find themselves in a tough spot. Got this presence A ramp. We've got one more smoke to try and make this happen. Travis's position here by the girder is bold, to say the least. But when this smoke fades, he might actually be able to find it on Joko. Does Joko expect this? Oh, it's not Joko who gets collected. It's his teammate. It leaves Joko alone, isolated in a 1v2. See if he can bring this being pinched, and it won't matter. Deco from the front. He's the man who started with a Deeg, picked up his comrade's gun, and put it to major effort here. 1 win. Get their first round. Sorry, second round of the second half.
Is that a 5-on-3 for Heat? I think it was. That is... I made sure I call it. Game over. That is... the mountain, the hurdles they need to face from here to get this back are astronomical. Yeah. They are higher than Everest. This is a Heat that looks like they could win the whole tournament.
A 1-win, rather.
Yes.
If this Heat wins the whole tournament, something has very much changed. And sometimes you just need the kick in the pants, right? And we've been talking about it. Both these teams coming off of disappointing almost runs in the RMR. Not making it to the major. Maybe some feelings. And maybe here's the two different responses, right? Heat looking a little despondent, not looking so put together, not looking as sharp as we expect. 1 win looking more focused than ever, right? Just, it is always interesting how you can take those almosts. And depending on your perspective, depending on your positioning, depending on how you think about the game and what your expectations are for the team, one can be a rallying cry and one can be despondent.
This buy from Heat feels almost depressing. 3 smokes, no flashbangs. Thank God Deco doesn't have an AWP. Otherwise he'll be farming. Gonna go for a bit of a mid peak. Deco is around.
And Flamey has just continued his fine form.
Yeah.
18 kills, only 7 deaths. It's wild what kind of form he's in right now. After this first fight could be huge. Deco's actually giving it up, so mid's allowed over. A lot of positioning here for Heat. Flamey might come back into the check, but now Afro's watching for it. So Flamey, yeah, he's been given responsibility for this mid play. If he makes that same peak he did before, this could be bad. He's actually got a great spot. Coming through, utility setup, there it is. Okay, disaster once again for Heat. Everything looked like it was going to be in their favor on timing until the actual hit. Bomb is dropped, and Afro is alone in a 1v4. He has to try this. He'll find the first, but at the cost of 94 of his health points. So 1 bullet at this point will do him in, and it'll come from Travis's gun.
Lack of the flashbang there was the death sentence. That smoke that lands by the sandbags, you can still always see over the top of it just a little bit as you're going up and onto the window. And that's why you have to put a couple flashes in. Just bounce them in and go. But of course they had none. So Deco finds a cheeky angle. 1-2 punches the other players on the other side ready and waiting. And they've ecoed Mike. 10 in a row? I admire the ambition.
Another Counter-Strike news. Seems that Yakindar has officially been announced as a member of Liquid. So, surprise! No one was expecting that.
The least shocking news of the year.
What a curveball. Alright. That was a collat. In case you don't realize, Lollipop just got a collat. Doesn't really matter, you would have had it on the spray down regardless. But that's nice at least. Hey, Joko, least won't let them get clean. You got to be concerned that OneWin's building up this bank again. They did it in the first half, and well, they're just not going to need it this time because they need 1 round out of the next 10. Map point, series point has been found. This hasn't been a contentious affair. We thought this was going to be the best series of the first round, and it still might be because of how astounding this win is. I mean, wowzers. This is some crazy play coming through from OneWin.
Yeah, and on Dust 2, that's a one-win game. That's what happens. It's always a bit mad. It's always a bit crazy. They like to get aggressive. This has just been a beatdown.
This is letting every team remaining in playoffs know you do not want to play Vertigo against OneWin. You just don't want to do it. Opener for body, though, Alan. There's a chance. And the chance gets a bit better. This, even with money, should be a save for OneWin.
Yeah, there's absolutely no reason to be even in the same postcode as this bomb plant. Please, stay alive, guys. Economic damage is utterly meaningless when you're on 15. Let's just keep these going.
Alright, they're out of there.
Yes. I mean, looking at the other teams in playoffs, let's have a little bit of a think about who OneWin are really going to be up against if you remove Heat from the equation. We would have said Sprout, but is that game going closer yet? Because they got bodied on their first map, didn't they?
They did. It's 9-6 at the half on the second. Advantage Sprout. But let me see what that second map was. Mirage. Okay, so a 9-6 half. Not out of the ordinary. Really can't split that one either way just yet. Our other matchups, 9 are up a map against the Bad News Eagles. So that's another interesting one to watch.
It feels like Falcons are the likely other team to me, but they're currently losing to what is, let's be honest, a dead Entropic team. So, yeah, OneWin looking right now like by a long shot the most convincing team right now in the playoffs.
Intriguing. Very intriguing. I've gotten so close. Time after time. And Flame is just burning alive. Sort of his hallmark, and this one's looking like it might be the last. Body and Joko vaporize on the early engagements. That ramp fight's huge. Body keeps the question going. Maybe the smoke from the flames offsetting Glowing's aim. But whatever it is, there's still a man advantage here for OneWin, and the positioning from Deco could be deadly. Clear back in. Oh, ripper of a shot from Body. But he doesn't know. He doesn't know that Deco's here. He's completely discounting the possibility, and so now it comes down to Joko in the clutch. Body has done so much to give him this possibility, to give him the information, and Deco just walks into it! 3 kills on the round win! All for OneWin domination here, Alan.
That was an unbelievable map from OneWin. A couple mistakes away from making that almost a 16-2 free sort of scoreline. But they take it, and we'll break that one down after this break.